You might want to hear this, and this might be the only chance for you to escape poverty for life. Trust me. So on today's video, we'll be talking about a great man. Yeah, many of you must have known him. Yeah, his name is Elon Musk. Yeah, so many people do admire success, from a distance. That is true. They love success, but many are willing to pay the sacrifice to claim success or to gain success to their life. So on this video, I'll be breaking down the strategy, the pattern, the exact, roadmap that Elon Musk followed that made him who he is today. So stay with me as we unfold this, guys.
Most people admire success from a distance, but very few people are willing to experience the reality that creates it. Society celebrates achievement publicly while ignoring the private sacrifice behind it. We praise the outcome while avoiding the process. This contradiction becomes obvious when examining the mindset and work ethics of Elon Musk. To the average person, Elon Musk aspires extremely the long work hours, relentless execution, high pressure environment, and constant ambition seems almost unnatural. However, what makes him different is not simply intelligence or access to opportunity. What truly separates him is his relationship with time, discomfort, pressure, and responsibility. Most people live their life reactively. Their days are controlled by their mood, distraction, notification, entertainment, and emotional impulses. They waited to feel ready before taking action. Productivity becomes dependent on motivation, and motivation becomes unreliable. As a result, progress slows down. Elon Musk operates differently. He does not build his life around discomfort or emotional convenience. He builds it around execution. This single shift changes, everything. The average person treats his time casually because they believe there will always be more of it. Hours disappear through scrolling. That is true. Unnecessary conversations, procrastination, and low-value activities. Days begin to blend together without meaningful progress. Many people they are busy, yet accomplish very little because their attention is fragmented. High performer understand something different. They understand that time is not just valuable, it is irreversible. Once wasted, it can never be recovered. So Elon Musk approached time with urgency because he understands that every delayed decision slows down momentum. This creates a physiological advantage over people who constantly postpone difficult work. This present modern society has normalized, distraction to an alarming degree. People wake up and immediately consume stimulation before their mind even have time to think clearly. Notifications interrupt focus every single minute. Endless entertainment trains the brain to avoid silence and discomfort. Over time, this weakens attention span and destroys deep concentration. The dangerous part is that most people do not realize this is happening to them. They consume, they have a discipline problem when it's, in reality, their environment is conditioning them for distraction. Billion-dollar platform compete aggressively for human attention because attention has become one of the most profitable resources in the whole world. Elon Musk's lifestyle demonstrates the opposite, physiology. Instead of allowing distraction to control his focus, he structured his life around, priorities. He understands that meaningful work requires long period of uninterrupted concentration. This is why highly successful individuals often appear, obsessive. Their level of focus feels unusual because modern culture rewards distraction instead of depth. There is a major, physiological difference between age performers and elite performers. Most, people seek comfort as quickly as possible. They avoid stress, uncertainty, criticism, and pressure because this experience feels unpleasant. However, growth rarely happens inside discomfort. Growth happens when the mind is forced to adapt under pressure. Always note this. Elon Musk repeatedly places himself in environments filled with uncertainty and difficulty. Whether launching rockets, building electric vehicle, or managing multiple companies simultaneously, he consistently chooses challenges most people would avoid them entirely. This willingness to tolerate pressure drastically expands capability over time. Many people understand discipline. Yes, it's true. They imagine discipline as intense motivation or temporary bursts of energy. In reality, discipline is often quiet, repetitive, and emotional inconvenience. It is the ability to continue executing regardless of your own emotional state. Today, I'm going to tell you one of the biggest difference between successful individual and average individual. Average people ask themselves, do I feel motivated today? Disciplined people always ask themselves, when needs to be done. The difference sounds small, but it completely changes behavior. When action depends on emotion, consistency disappears. Emotional changes constantly. Motivation rise and fall. That is very, very true. But responsibility creates structure. Responsibility removes negotiation. Another important lesson from Elon Musk's approach is the concept of delayed gratification. Modern culture encourages immediate pressure. Everything is designed to provide it quickly. Short videos, instant entertainment, fast delivery, constant stimulation. As a result, many people lost the ability to tolerate boredom or sustain effort. However, long-term achievement requires the opposite mindset. It requires sacrificing immediate comfort for future outcome. Elon Musk repeatedly demonstrates an extreme ability to prioritize long-term vision over short-term belief. This creates an advantage that compounds over years, while others remain trapped in the circle of temporary comfort. There is also a hidden loneliness attached to extreme ambition that many people never discuss. High level of focus often creates separation. When someone becomes deeply committed to growth, discipline, or execution, they could naturally begin operating differently from the people around them. That is true. Priority always changes, habit changes, conversation always changes. Many people secretly fear this transformation because they want success without social fraction. They want growth without sacrifice. But meaningful achievement almost always require some form of isolation, misunderstanding, or discomfort. I will tell you another reason most people struggle to execute consistently is because they underestimate the power of mental fatigue. Every day, attention is consumed by thousands of small decisions you make, distraction and interruption. By the evening, mental energy becomes discompleted. This is why most people make poor decisions at night, even when they had the strong intentions earlier in the day. High performance reduces unnecessary cognitive waste. This simply simplifies the routine, prioritize important work early, and eliminate the distraction aggressively from their life. This pressure mental energy for high value decisions. Elon Musk's scheduling style reflects this obsession with efficiency and cognitive optimization. One of the most uncomfortable truths about success is that potentially means nothing without execution. It is true. Many people are intelligent. Many people have ideas. Many people have dreams, big dreams, but very few people consistently convert intention into action. This gap between knowledge and execution is where most ambitions dies completely. The world is filled with people who know exactly what they should do, but continue avoiding it. They wait for the perfect mood, perfect plan, or perfect timing. Meanwhile, disciplined individuals continue moving forward imperfectly. Over time, imperfect action consistently outperform perfect hesitation. Just like the way I'm making this video to you right now. Elon Musk's success also highlights the importance of obsession. Average effort rarely creates extraordinary outcome. Most people who achieve uncommon results usually possess an intense level of focus that border on obsession. Modern culture often label this unhealthy, because it contrasts sharply with average behavior of most people you will see around you. However, history repeatedly shows that transformative achievements are rarely built through moderate commitment. This does not mean everyone must work extreme hours or sacrifice every aspect of their life. The deeper level is physiological. Extraordinary outcome require extraordinary commitment. It is very true. The level of focus applied to a goal often determine the magnitude of the result that is coming out of it. I will tell you another reason also. People remain stuck is because they overestimate the importance of talent while underestimating the importance of repetition. Talent creates potential, but repetition creates mastery. Elon Musk consistency under pressure demonstrates that sustained effort over time that often matters more than natural ability alone. I will be completely honest with you. The truth is that success is rarely created during moments of excitement. It is created during ordinary days when discipline become more important than emotion. The ability to continue working while tired, uncertainty, distraction or uncomfortable creates an advantage that compounds silently over time. Most people never reach their potential because they continuously negotiate and excuses. They negotiate with discomfort, they negotiate with fear, they negotiate with effort. Even every small compromise weakens the momentum until years passes without meaningful progress. Elon Musk's mindset represents the opposite physiology, and that is why I love this man so much. He treats every obstacle as problem to solve rather than reason to stop. This creates resilience. Instead of interpreting difficult as failure, he interprets it as a part of the process. Ultimately, the great lesson from Elon Musk is not about becoming obsessed with work. No, it is about understanding the cost of wasted potential. Human beings are capable of extraordinary adaptation. It is very true. Focus and achievement, but modern distraction constantly pull attention away from meaningful progress. Success is not determined only by intelligence. No, it is not determined only by luck. No, neither is it determined by opportunity. It is determined by the ability to sustain focus and execution while others become distracted, discouraged, emotional, or comfortable. In the end, the difference between average people and exceptional people is often much smaller than it is appear. One group consistently executes despite discomfort. The other waits for discomfort to disappear before taking action. And this is why most people changes their life while others spend years complaining about why they cannot change their own lives.
Thank you for watching the video to the end, and another big thank you for always watching my video. So happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers, the best mothers in the world, and happy new week. I pray this week bring us more closer to our success. So thank you, and stay safe and stay blessed till next time.